The Monday, March 24th, 2014 meeting of the Common Council, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have the roll call. Ms. Schofield, please.
Alderperson Bear.
Here.
Alderperson Diaz.
Here.
Alderperson Doyle.
Here.
Alderperson Manley.
Here.
Alderperson McGilvery.
Here.
Alderperson Rieke. Here. Alderperson Steiner.
Here.
Alderperson Yurs.
Here. We have everyone present this evening. Thank you for that. Next on the agenda is public comment. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak this evening? Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak? There's no one from the public here this evening that wishes to speak, so we will proceed with the agenda. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the March 10th meeting of the Common Council. What is your pleasure?
Motion approved.
We have a motion. Was that Mr. Bear? A motion by Mr. Bear, seconded by Mr. Yurs to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Any additions or corrections to those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried, and the minutes are approved. Under Mayor's business, I really have nothing to report this evening. I know we've talked a lot about the snow removal and the Public Works Department and the great job that they did. I saw that we did have a couple instances. Ron's not in the room right now, but where we had some flooding. And again, the Public Works Department did a great job of cleaning out those drain areas where there was snow in the drain areas, and the water was able then to flow away, and also put the cones up and made sure that the public remained safe through that. So thanks again to the Public Works Department. With that, we will move to the Administrator's report. Mr. Burns, please.
Yes, thank you. A couple updates. Wanted to report on a couple items from the Dane County Cities and Villages meeting that took place on March 12th. One of the items discussed was the DaneCom radio system. Full implementation of that system has been delayed. They are now talking about sometime this summer. The paging component is up and running, but they are continuing to work with the vendor on some issues with coverage for the radio system and hope to have that in place later this year. There is a hearing related to an issue in front of Department of Revenue related to a levy limit adjustment for the transfer of services provided that had been provided by Dane County, providing for insurance for EMS districts. The county has discontinued providing that, so it's something that local governments have had to take on, or local districts. Department of Revenue had issued a ruling that would allow local governments to adjust their levy limit to reflect the fact that they're taking on that service. Dane County has indicated that they wish to challenge that and have requested a hearing before the Department of Revenue. So that's something that Dane County Cities and Villages Association will be involved with in that hearing process. And even though we're not talking about necessarily a large dollar amount for this item related to the EMS insurance, the association feels it's an important precedent, because as the county looks at potentially shifting other services off the county levy, the association feels that there should be an opportunity for cities and villages to pick that up on their levy limits. The hearing is coming up on April 22nd, and I'll provide additional information as we get closer to that hearing date. And then there was also discussion about the CARPC fee issue that we had discussed before this body, as well as open employments for CARPC and for other positions. I did send out an update from Dane County Cities and Villages earlier today that has some more information in there. And if anyone does have questions, please contact me. The annual meeting for Dane County Cities and Villages will be taking place in Verona at Gray's Tide House, and that'll be on May 7th at 5:30 p.m. And I'll again be sending out more information once we get the details for the agenda for that item. A couple other updates quickly. The Ad Hoc Public Safety Committee working on the fire and EMS facility is going to be meeting on April 2nd at 5:30 p.m. That's a week from this Wednesday. Originally, they had been looking at a March 26th meeting, but that's been pushed back 1 week to allow time to complete the energy modeling and some additional information on the mechanical system decisions that will go to the committee. And then finally, just wanted to report that absentee voting is continuing in office this week for the remainder of this week through March 28th. And then the spring election will be held on Tuesday, April 1st. Be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Burns? Mr. Steiner?
When's Hometown Days?
I can look up the dates for you in just a moment.
It's on the website, Bill.
Yeah.
Chamber website.
Yes, it is. The dates for this year are June 12th through the 15th.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments for Mr. Burns? Seeing none, thank you. This evening, you don't have a written report from
No, we
Bob,
do
you?
not.
We do, Mr. Gunlock was not able to make the meeting this evening, so we do not have a report from the engineer. So we will move on to committee reports. We'll begin with the Finance Committee. Mr. McGilvery, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Under item 9A1, I'll make a motion to approve payment of the bills in the amount of $152,462.31.
We have a motion by Mr. McGilvery. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Doyle. Mr. McGilvery?
Thank you. In the way of explanation, 3 of the larger items from this month's bills, first being to Alliant Energy for our February-March service, $28,763.43. Second being to Architectural Design Group for the design services for fire and EMS station, payment of $40,240.58. And finally, to Stafford and Rosenbaum LLP, our legal service provider for the month of March, $17,106.27.
You've heard the explanation of the major expenditures. Are there any questions from the Common Council? I'm not seeing any. All those in favor of the approval of bills in the amount of $152,462.31 signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, no. And that motion carries. Is there anything else from Finance?
No, sir.
We will move on then to new business under approval of operators licenses. Ms. Schofield?
Tonight, we have operator licenses from Amanda Henry and Jordan Braxton at Vincenzo BP, Jill Dreyfus at Avanti's, and Giovanni Velasco at Cuco's.
Is there a motion to approve the operators licenses?
So,
We have a motion by Mr. McGilvray, seconded by Mr. Yurs. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of operators licenses signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion carries. We are on agenda item number 11, which is announcements. Do we have any announcements this evening? Do we have any announcements this evening?
Serious.
Seeing none, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. McGilvray. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Diaz. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. We are adjourned. It's the quickest meeting I've ever had here since 1977. 1997, sorry. We are adjourned.
I'm pretty sure, I don't think Louis was on